This might be that episode where we just don't go anywhere.
God damn it.
I think we're gonna call this, can Teresa and JF get to work in an old car today?
Behind door number 3.
Oh man, we got door number 3. Let's go
Pick door
check.
number 3.
Okay, it's another 356 day. I'm hoping I can get the bumper finally mounted because we got it in location and we sturdied up the body last episode. Today's the day where I hope to get it mounted with actual bumper brackets. Gap nice so that we can look towards just getting it ready for body. Just getting it ready for body work. It's a nice day. We decided we were going to drive an old car. Unfortunately, said old car's got a dead battery. So,
Bump start?
it's going to have to be. Looks like we jump in there before it rolls down the hill and into oblivion. I'll come back and grab your thing.
New battery charger.
The adventures of old cars. Round 2. Dead Jeep. Truck that works. Let's get to work. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
What did you do to it since I drove it down the hill?
Maybe it's out of gas. This might be that episode where we just don't go anywhere.
God damn it.
Yep, this one's out of gas.
I have a gallon of fuel up top.
Teresa to the rescue. Hey, Teresa.
Yes, darling.
If your husband's that good at building cars, how come all his shit's broken all the time?
Well, have you ever seen, usually the hairdresser has the ugly hair and the mechanic always has the broken down vehicle, and the massage therapist who has the broken back, and the yoga instructor who's like super...
No, it gets worse.
What?
There's fuel in the stupid thing.
Oh, man.
No way.
Maybe the transmission finally cacked.
Sweetheart, it won't start. That's not the transmission. What the fuck? Fuel pump. Damn it. That's not fun at all.
Put this fuel down here.
Okay, go turn the key and I'll hit the tank with a rubber hammer. Old cars, they're always an adventure. Always an adventure. Rubber hammer. That might do it.
I remember doing that with an old Honda that I had. You had to go underneath and bang the gas tank.
It's about to happen. Just turn the key on. Fuel pump's dead. Okay. Civilian car, or do we take the roadster?
Oh, I'm gonna say it's gonna be round 3 with the roadster.
Oh, the roadster should work.
I put fuel in it and it's backfiring.
Oh man. Let's go check on the roadster. I think we're gonna call this, can Teresa and JF get to work in an old car today?
Behind door number 3.
Oh man, we got door number 3. Let's go
Pick door
check.
number 3.
Behind door number 3, we have my favorite puddle jumper. Son of a... Okay. My favorite little puddle jumper. Is there a chance?
Come on, Peanut.
I literally don't cross my fingers when I get in this car because it always works, but...
Backfiring the last time I got in it.
Right. So did you do something that you shouldn't have?
No.
No, she says. Well, why is it wouldn't start for you and it starts fine for me?
It did start for me. It was fine. I drove it down the road. I drove it down to the bottom of the cul-de-sac and it just started backfiring.
All right.
Okay, you're either going to get a lot of haters on this video.
Well, if you hate me for working my ass off on cars all day long, maybe you should go to the shop and do that for yourself.
Well,
Well, Dave, you winning?
we made it to work.
I'm on car number 3 this morning.
Car number 3?
Fuck's sakes. What are you experiencing? Well, if you look at the shaft coming into the steering box, you see it move a bunch?
Yes.
And look at the pivot arm off this steering box. It's not moving at all.
The ball flap.
It's a brand new box, of course. Maybe it can be adjusted. I don't know. This poor car. It's having a hard day today.
At least it looks good.
Alright, let's get to work. Fuck, this car's pretty underneath.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So now that we got to work, we got a few things I want to fix on this car before it becomes another one of my broken down junkers. Alright, first thing we do is put them in order of the cylinders that they come out of, and then I'll show you what they're telling us. So when you're sick, you go to the doctor and they give you a blood test. When your car is sick, this is the way to find out what's going on inside it, in the engine. I'll show you the difference, and right away we've got some obvious differences. See that plug right on the end there is changing color, and it's kind of white brownish. So that's nice and white and brown. That one looks good. This one's very similar, also looks good. This one's getting darker. See the darkness around the edges? And
that
then
one's
this,
black. Nope, sorry.
are you learning or are you teaching? And then this one is quite soaked and wet. Now, because this car has 2 carburetors, and that's probably too much carburation for the car, I'm thinking the front carburetor is putting too much fuel down into the system. So what I'm gonna do is take the idle mixtures and actually turn them down, because we probably have it just at idle, just over fueling the car. What we'll do to check that is go to the other side and check the other 4 spark plugs. super common to have engines that run overly rich. Lots of camshaft. And typically, we set our cars up so that they make peak power by putting big carburetors on them. But your typical drive doesn't include using peak power and moving a lot of air. So that one is also very black. This is the blood test for this little car. That one getting better, but still oily. Now, if these two back here are that nice coffee with cream color, we'll know that the front carburetor is the one that's giving us issues. There it is. You see that? Super. That one's good. Next one's good. Now, if I had, say, just a single carburetor and had exactly the same problem, I would think my primary circuit or my primary barrels. Ooh, look at that one's really oily. Okay, that's throwing me off completely here. Now what we're having is probably a couple of these are misfiring for sure because they're just too oil soaked. The car is still relatively low mileage, and even though we've driven it lots, so that could be just the fact that the brand new motor is still seating the rings. So we could throw a set of plugs at it. We'll see if our supplier has them. The other thing you could do is clean them. Wire wheel, then we still want them going in the same spot. So first we'll call the supplier. If they got fresh ones, I'll just put new ones in. If not, I'm going to wire wheel them, and I'm going to take some fuel out of the primaries. Okay, parts store's got no plugs. And see what happens is when they're dark like that, they don't make a good spark. So we're going to clean them up, put them back in the car, play with the carburetors a bit. So we've cleaned them all. You can see the difference there. They look super nice.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
So if this fixes them,
Yep.
then why would you buy new ones?
Well, see, these are still quite brand new, but if you have ones that have got, say, 50,000 miles on them,
Right.
the electrodes get burnt off. They get really thin.
Okay.
And it starts to eat away at the porcelain down there. So the insulator starts to have problems, and then you'll have misfires.
Right.
When you got spark plugs that only have 1,000 miles on them, typically they're not junk yet. This might be the simplest car to ever do a set of spark plugs in.
I was going to say, you don't have to...
Don't even have to lift the hood.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You don't have to, like, bend over and crawl inside the hood or inside the engine bay.
So one thing that's kind of worrying me about looking at this is that the combustion chambers are probably quite dark also. So I'm going to do another trick that we do with that just to clean them up. So the carbon buildup, carbon's actually really, really hard. So it eats up the rings and it'll score the cylinders, and then it can also get in the way of the valves doing their job properly.
What caused the spark plugs to get dirty?
Overfueling.
And what causes it to overfuel?
Well, we have 2 giant carburetors on this car.
Okay.
Most cars only have 1. And I shouldn't say they're giant. I think they're 400s. An engine like this really needs 650, maybe 750 CFM to work properly. So we've got a little extra CFM because of the extra carburetor. And then if they're not set right, or if the rings are trying to seat themselves, they'll weep a little oil by once in a while. And it's that oil that kind of doesn't burn off. So if you've got a good fuel, it'll burn off. But oil is very hard to burn. And I always tighten these with the butt end of the ratchet so that I don't over tighten them. They need to be tight, but not overly tight. Otherwise, you can seat them in the cylinder head, especially on aluminum cylinder heads. You can seat them in there so deep that they get stuck inside the cylinder head. So especially on new cars, you gotta be super careful with that. Yeah, we've never really ventured into tuning this car because we were just going from car show to car show and just having a bunch of fun. So I'm gonna pop the lid off the carburetors and get in there. Well, old school tuning.
Oh, that's what you're doing?
Poor little car.
Our day started with trying to drive the Jeep. Remember the other day where I was like, I can't, nothing started.
Really, yeah.
So JF had the experience that I had today.
Gotta take a bit of fuel out of it.
Not quite as easy as the Hollies.
No. And I want to say it's at idle, but it's gotten way too much.
And what are you doing right now?
I'm just checking where the idle mixture screws are.
Usually about a turn.
Yeah.
Turn to turn and a half.
Yeah, if you got two carburetors, do you do less? That's
I would
what I
do
think.
less. I'd do them all at one turn.
So that's where they were at. That's half, 3/4.
Oh yeah, that's only at 3/4. So maybe try half.
Yeah, so I've already done that then. I would do half, yeah. Because that front carburetor for sure was overfueling compared to the rear.
Well, this one was like 2 turns and that was 3/4.
It might have just wiggled
It
loose.
could have wiggled loose then.
Okay,
Yeah, so
that's good.
do a half turn on both of those.
Okay, and it sounded like it needed more advanced this morning too, so I don't know what to do there.
Oh, yeah.
It's
A lot of
maxed
space,
out.
yeah. Maybe move the wires over one. I guess you don't have a lot of room either way.
Yeah, no, I think I can get it the other way.
Okay.
Yeah, I could get it the other way. So, okay, we'll start with this.
Extra noisy. Almost seems like a vacuum leak or something. Do you think, eh? This seems extra noisy. Gaskets in the car and the intake didn't quite match. I think it's the same problem there. Yeah, it's extra noisy on this side.
Yeah, I could feel it even.
Yeah, I put my hand up there trying to feel it back, but I didn't. But yeah, there's the issue.
Okay. Fuck, the work never stops. Look at this. See the wheels turn? Brand new steering box. Ooh, that's excessive,
That's
isn't it?
very excessive. Very excessive. Especially on a car that's not going to steer good to start with.
It's
And
weird,
then,
like it was fine and then it wasn't. Okay.
so what you're probably going to have to do,
Pull all carburetors.
yeah, you probably won't be able to match the carb to the intake. You have to find the right spacers to
make it work.
Well, let's go see what the problem is for starters.
Luckily on that Camaro we had one here that resolved that.
You know, I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Okay. Well, that becomes
geez.
pretty obvious, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Place for the carburetor. Yeah, how do we solve that?
So that's where it's like on the right with it past it right over there.
No wonder it's backfiring too.
Yeah.
So we need.
Okay, that's weird.
Okay, well, we could start with that gasket because that covers the hole.
Is this pattern the same? No.
Fucker. You got a couple of extra holes though.
Yeah, I don't. But those ones are ones used. There's extra holes.
Extra holes is good.
Oh shit.
So I almost think.
Okay, so then our spacer.
I think we're headed there. I think
Yeah, then our spacer.
we put that down first because it does the profile.
What's this one?
Yes. I think that one has to go down first.
No, because that's where our leak starts. Was right across there.
No, put it down. You'll see. See, it covers the actual hole of the intake. Okay.
Well, I'll just see if I got other gaskets maybe.
So that would cover that, and then when this goes down,
They still worry about leaving just right through that little corner.
oh, it won't now, will it? Because this will be holding it down there. I think. How many of these we got? I think we got enough. Actually, we have enough of these guys.
I have enough. Yeah.
We have enough of these. That's fine. So we could do it that
The
way.
double hole ones.
So that would be this.
Yeah.
Then this plate to hold everything together.
Yeah.
And then that gasket would work with that carburetor.
And then that
So we need one more.
one more double hole gasket.
Okay. So here, fairly innocent mistake. And we just missed it. Because the gasket was covering the hole, we just assumed that that was sealing the intake, which it was. But look at here. So there's some air getting past here out of the carburetor. So the bottom of the carburetor, that was the problem there. And now we're gonna seal it up with a intermediate plate. You find another one?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
The carburetor doors for working out.
No
Love it.
kidding.
No, thing is.
Now it just needs a bunch of hollow jets in it
Should we
next time we're at the racetrack.
Should we scrape any of that other gas like around here?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess we could.
Should while we're here.
Yeah. Good plan. Okay, so the way to fix this, we got a nice gasket that covers the intake now. Got an intermediary plate to catch the rest of it. I'm gonna double check that though, Mike. This plate might not be thick enough. You like my spacers for my air cleaners?
Your spacers. What the hell? Redneck engineering.
I don't know if it's always good. But... Okay, this is gonna be a trick. Anybody out there that plays with carburetors knows this is like fishing for... Okay, I give up on that. And do it the other way.
I found it.
Did you?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Didn't I? Yeah. Felt like I did. I got it. Did I not?
Yeah, that one's in. But that still doesn't help me though.
Oh.
Yeah, 'cause I gotta take them apart to get them both.
Oh, I see.
That's gonna have them close. Oh yeah, these are this way. That's the way I had them. I had them as a support for...
Then it doesn't rattle as much.
Yeah, that should hold it in place better. Problem when the air cleaner goes too low, it gets in the way of the throttle.
Oh,
So
I see.
we have a system.
Okay, system.
Hopefully this is the end of our bad luck for the day. I will say, for those that are listening and have old cars, you already know this drill. You already know that every time you fire up your car for the spring and the hot rod season, there's work to be done. It doesn't just come easy. I think we got this one licked. Okay, is this actually the last time I'm filling up this car? Okay. See if it runs as good as it did 10 minutes ago. Oh. Real close. You can hear it in the tailpipes. Okay, that's a wrap. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. We're gonna enjoy our day and then go right back up the hill and start fixing the rest of my junk tomorrow.
Kaiser tune-up next.
Yeah, Kaiser's next, I think.
Yeah.
It needs it the most. And the battery in the Jeep should be just fine by the time we get there, so
Yeah.
maybe that was a little more dramatic than it needed to be, but yes. Get your cars tuned up for summer. Here it is, spring. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. We appreciate that you guys are supporting us. See you soon.